Okay, you guys, here is what should be preoccupying you. Well, I don't know if it should be preoccupying you. I don't know if you should let anything preoccupy you. I think you should live your lives and be happy and enjoy the fruits of God's creation. But when you're pondering the decline of the West, when you're thinking about why we're at where we're at right now in the Western world, here's the question that is, I think, the most fruitful to ask. Why is it that in the West, and only in the West, that our ruling institutions are in the business of telling the native population of the West that they're bad, that their ancestors are evil, and that they ought to be replaced? Why is that? Why do we see that happen in the West, and only in the West? Why is mass immigration from cultures radically different a prerequisite for being a good person in the West, and only in the West? Why is that the case? Why is that not the case in Russia? Why is that not the case in China? All right. Whatever might be said against what Russia's doing, whatever might be said against what they're doing in China right now, whether it's against the Tibetans, against the Uyghurs, in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, whatever. You can have your criticisms of what China's doing. You can criticize Russia for invading Ukraine, but in those places, the primary push of the elite institutions is to buttress and support and give favor towards the native population, and to tell the native population that they ought not be replaced, that in fact what they have is valuable to the world and is a thing of great beauty and value and so forth. Why is it only in the West that they say, look at you with your blue eyes, look at you with your white skin, aren't you ashamed of what your ancestors did? How do you make up for that? How do you atone for the guilt of your heritage? Now, I know some of you are maybe have been screaming for the last 2 minutes the words, "It's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews, it's the Jews." Okay, well look, are there Jews in Russia? Are there Jews in the non-Western world? Yes and yes. Were there Jews in the Western world before just recently? Were there Jews in the Western world before 1990? Before the end of the Cold War? Were there Jews in the Western world when it was still when in the West it was still the trend to tell the natives of the West the native population of the West, that their heritage was good and they should be proud of it. And if their ancestors were hardy and independent spirits, pioneers, and that there is much to be valued about them, and that we should hold them up as examples to follow, that you should look to your fathers and your forefathers with pride. Were there not Jews in the West before 1990? Yes, there were. All right. So this isn't me covering for the Jews or saying it's not, or saying forget about the bad things that Jews are doing or whatever. This isn't me taking up for the Jews. This is me saying, stop turning your fucking mind off. Stop with this mind-numbing mantra where you say the word Jews and suddenly you just stop thinking. You stop thinking about anything. That becomes your handy-dandy excuse for everything, for why everything is the way it is. Yes, Jewish power is a thing that ought to be considered. But again, it's not the Jews that are spearheading or causing. If it were the Jews who were responsible for everything that's happening right now, then it would have been happening for a long time. It wouldn't just be happening over the last 30 years. So why over the last 30 years, specifically since the end of the Cold War, has it been this way? Has this been the trend in the West, and only in the West? Only in the West. All right, it's not even just a white thing. You can say it's all over the white world. Well, are Russians white? Is our allies, our countries in Eastern Europe that are allied with Russia, are they white? It's not the trend there. It's only the trend in the West. Why? That's where you should be devoting your attention, in my opinion. That's the question that I think is worthy of your consideration and concern. And that's my opinion.